guys know, Halloween's coming up, so what better than a scary story? This legit happened to me. I know you guys are gonna be like, girl, no it didn't. But I swear to myself and to my mama that it happened, okay? So let's get started. So this happens literally when I was, I know you guys are hearing that beep noise because I'm too lazy to put batteries on my whoops. Anyway, disregard that. So I think I was about 8 years old when this happened. So mind you, I had gone to Mexico with my family. My mom's from Mexico, so I had gone to where she was born and raised. And it was kind of like a ranch setting, I can say. I was so scared because first of all, I already knew, my mom had told me prior to me going that the place was scary because it was haunted. Some of the places there, I guess a lot of people had died, and she mentioned to me that she played with the Ouija board, or her family members played with the Ouija board in the house that they stayed at. So just imagine, that was scary. So, it had to be haunted. So as my mom was telling me this prior to going there, right, I'm like, do I even want to go? Especially being like, 8 years old. I don't think nobody would want to go to a place where their parent just told them, hey, we're gonna go here, and because I want you to know where I was born and all that, just giving me little tours vibes and just kind of telling me and showing me all these locations or whatever in Mexico. So yeah, I don't feel like that was the proper way to tell me, hey, just FYI, there might be some scary stuff that you witness, or some paranormal stuff that you witness. You know what I'm saying? At age 8, you would never think, wow, this is legit paranormal stuff, and obviously your girl got to witness that. And it's funny because my cousin, Melissa, she had gone with me, and she's 3 years older than me, so of course she's like, oh, nothing's gonna happen, blah blah blah, she was so brave because she was older than me. So we had gone, and it was cool, but I don't know why, but I feel since I was younger, I always felt like I could sense people's presence or vibes around me. I don't know, it's just a weird thing that there is a ghost around me. Not to scare you guys, but I legit feel I could literally sense it. I don't know what it is. It's some special power. Just kidding. No, I'm serious though, legit. I don't know what it is, but I feel it, and I just get freaked out, and I just want to run away from wherever I'm at because I already know what it is. Definitely a ghost. So anyway, back to my story. So I was in Mexico at my mom's ranch, and I was already okay, this is kind of fun, but I kind of feel there's a lot of dead people around me, so how is this even gonna be fun for me and my cousin, because it's just me and my cousin. And I mean, we made the best out of it, don't get me wrong. Me and my cousin would play with our other cousins that we had met there, or we would make our own play stuff, or play with chickens, I guess. Well, not play with chickens, but I guess we're just be around farm animals, because we've never even been around farm animals because we're from the city. So I guess that was kind of a new experience for us, just kind of seeing what it was living in the farm. in a farm. I think we stayed there about 3 days. I remember my mom telling me, hey, you guys have to wake up really early because we had to catch like a bus back to the city or something like that. And I guess that bus only got to that ranch around a certain time, which was 4 a.m. or 5 a.m. But for us to catch the bus from that ranch, it took like about, I think it would take about like 30 minutes, I would say, for us to get to the actual location of where we were gonna board the bus to get back to the city. So we had to wake up at like 1 a.m. and 2 a.m., 1 or 2 a.m. or something like that, just so we could get ready by 3 a.m. and be on our way to the location where we were gonna board the bus. So, guys, I'm not gonna lie, but I kid you not. So me and my cousin Melissa, we got ready. We were only like, what, 8, 10? I was 7 or 8. She was like 10, 11. I don't know. She's 3 years older than me. Do the math. Literally, like, we were waiting for mom to be like, hey, like, let's go. It's gonna be this. We're going here, and then we're gonna go. Just giving us like direction of where we're gonna go. So my mom didn't do that. We were just kind of like following her. And mind you, in the ranch in Mexico, they have they had electricity, but some of the places around there were just legit dark. There was no lights. So just imagine being somewhere with no lights. Like legit, it was dark as heck, because I'm not gonna cuss, so as heck. And as we're walking up a hill. Well, we're walking down the hill, okay? So we're walking down the hill, and then all of a sudden my mom tells me, oh, we're gonna go to your great-grandmother's house, and I guess some other person that was gonna take us to back to the location where we're gonna board the bus. She's like, yeah, you know, this person's gonna take us, so we had to like, you know, sit outside your great-grandmother's house. And that house, let me tell you guys, it's really haunted because of my grandmother, I guess. I don't know. But across from my grandmother's house, which this would be her house, it would be my mom's family's house, which was literally across from my great-grandmother's house. And I know that that house is haunted because when we went earlier in the day, I just felt like a presence there with me. I'm not even making this up. And not only because I was aware that my mom played the Ouija board and all her brothers and sisters, but you could just feel the energies and all of that stuff. So I was just kind of creeped out just to know that I was gonna be facing that house as we were gonna wait outside for the people to come and like take us back to the location or whatnot. So I am with my grandmother and my cousin Melissa, and my mom went to go look for the people to go take us back to the location. Sorry guys, like that beeping noise, it's just annoying. I know, I gotta, you know, fix that ASAP, but it's just amazing. I literally was kind of scared because we literally were sitting outside at 3 a.m. Like, you guys know, all the scary movies, all the things that happen at 3 a.m. because if you guys see if you guys watch scary movies, the clock is always at 3 something. So that's supposedly witching hours. I don't know. So then I was already creeped out because I knew what time it was. So just think about my face the whole time. I'm just I think a lot. I like to just think. My mind is always thinking, and I've been like that since a kid. So the whole time I'm like tired, I don't want to go back to sleep. So my grandma's like, you know, You should rest your head on your cousin's shoulders. So then, as I'm like resting my head on my cousin's shoulder, I look to in front of me, and dun dun dun, I kid you not, I see a lady, an old lady. I can't really get to see like her face, but I see an old lady, fully clothed, wearing certain clothing that I don't even know people would wear, like, you know, something as fashionable as, you know. She was standing in front of me, well, not in front of me, but in front of the house that my mom used to live in when she was a kid. So she was literally just looking straight at me, and the way I described her to my mom and my grandmother, just kidding, they looked at me and they're just looking at each other like they saw a ghost. And I couldn't even believe it, because when I kept on like bumping my cousin, I'm like, hey, like, do you see that old lady? Like, why is she outside of the house if it's 3 a.m.? But I know, we all knew that nobody lived at that house. It was completely abandoned. There was nobody that lived there. So I don't even know. I don't want to think about it, but I kind of like, I think a lot. So I did think about it. And I had just like a feeling that I could be possibly seeing a ghost. And when I kept on telling my grandmother and my cousin, hey, do you guys see that old lady in front of us? They just looked at me like I was crazy, or I was half asleep. And they were like, no, we don't see anybody. I think you're just dreaming. I think you're, you know, you're probably just, it's your dream. And the whole time I'm like fully awake, mind you. And I'm looking at them like, no, like I'm fully awake, like, no. Because once you get me up, I don't know, most of my friends and family know, once you get me up, I'm up. There's no way that I'm gonna go back to sleep in anything that I do. So I'm like, girl, no. I see a lady, an old lady, looking at us dead in the eye, like she knows us, in front of my mom's house. No, that was definitely a ghost. So then my mom had gone to go get the people from my great grandmother's house that they live in now. And my mom comes out, and when I, you know, she tells me, oh wow, like I felt like there was somebody in the house with me, and I felt like somebody was like walking behind me in sandals. And I honestly, at that point, I was like, that was definitely my great grandmother, because I guess the way that what she would wear was very antique, very Mexican antique-ish. I don't even know if that's a word, but bear with me, I'm making words up now. So I guess she would wear a lot of sandals, and she would wear a lot of like a veil and a lot of, you know, black clothing and all that. And the way that my mom described what, you know, the sandal footsteps, and how she got a breeze of, there was somebody, you know how you don't just get a breeze if it's 3 a.m. and there's no wind. It's just impossible, especially if you know that, you know, that ranch or that location is haunted. So I literally was like, damn girl, you saw that? I saw that too. And when I actually described everything when we got back to the city, to my grandmother's house, I described the lady that I saw to my mom and my grandmother, and they legit just told me like, oh, that was probably your great grandmother that came to meet you. She wanted to see you or meet you. And I don't know about you, but you don't tell that to an 8-year-old. And now that I'm like older, I kind of get freaked out from that story, because it just gets me scared. Like, I actually saw a ghost. I was so freaked out, and it sucks because nobody around me believed me. So the whole time I'm like, what is that? And my family are just like, girl, go back to sleep. So I honestly do believe in ghosts, and that's not the first time that I see a ghost or I experience a paranormal experience like that. But yeah, that was like my paranormal experience. So if you guys have ever experienced any paranormal stuff or anything, make sure to share with me on the comments, and make sure to like this video. And if you have not subscribed to my video, make sure that you subscribe and you turn on that little bell for notifications. So yeah, thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video.